Yeah.
Yeah, they say that, yeah.
It says it just did the live stream button.
YouTube is coming. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming, the live stream. And then I have to put the thing here. So I always have to do it twice. First they say you can't do it, and then it's possible. And then
That's
I
funny.
have to put the thingy on.
Just wants to make you work for it. It froze. Hello. I'm not sure if I'm being recorded, just sitting here. How are you?
I had the connection was gone, but I'm back. I'm back, people. I'm back, people. And I'm gonna do it loud, record it as well. So now we're gonna get recorded. Yay! Welcome, welcome, lovely people, on another episode of the Real Talks. And this time it's about what we will create in the future. Because we all know that we are creators and we co-creating with each other. And the more we can be even better creators, the more better things we will create. So I'm very excited about this. And welcome, welcome, Keara, as well.
Hello,
Yay!
welcome.
Yay!
This is an exciting topic. I like this one. I like this topic.
Yeah, because we know, like, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. We don't know when exactly everything will like, because like lots of people think like, oh, it's doom and gloom and chaos and all sorts of things, but there's other forces as well going on, and it's like a divine plan going on, and there's like changes happening, and so life, like, we have more and more people waking up and consciously creating a different world. So we will have that new earth, we will have that golden age, we're like the age of Aquarius that is coming. There's are people that do like lots of research, like they said, I heard about, like, they can look into the future and stuff, and there's so much more technology than we think we have, and that is also coming out, lots of technology that was hidden, but also they have technology to look in the future. And they said that, like, Project Looking Glass, they say whatever they would do, whatever the evil had in store, it will not work out. Like, it will always be that golden age, it will always be that Aquarian age. And also all prophecies of all indigenous tribes also said that. So this is something that is coming, like the new earth, golden age, Aquarian age, that's coming. And I want to share about how we see the things when we are there. Like, I see, like, we can just travel wherever we want to go travel. Like, we can live wherever we want to live. Money will be no problem. Like, we don't have to worry about that anymore in our whole life. It will just be always coming in. Like, they will have things in place, so we can really live our life exactly as we want to. We can just be fully creative, like whatever we want to do, we can do it. We find our passions, of course, we can't find our passions, but then we can just create whatever we want to create. the healthcare in like will be totally different. It will be with frequencies. It will be with healing, trauma healing. It will be with food, and all sorts of and lights and frequencies and sounds that will be so different. We're going to be living more in communities. I feel outside in nature with the people that prefer that, of course. Like everybody's different. Our food will be all natural. We don't have the toxins that we have now. All products will be natural. And this will all be changed. Because it's crazy now how much we get like poisoned with all the food that we have.
Yeah, it's depressing going anywhere to get any food. You can't, like, the only place that I feel like I could go to, especially like restaurant wise, and I wish I could remember the name of it so I could like give them their credit, but it's in the Lake of the Ozarks, and it's a community that lives, and they each have their own little tiny home, and they have like a worship every night, and other people are allowed to go visit them. My grandma lives, her cabin is near them, so we go quite a bit when we go up to the Ozarks. And they have a restaurant that they source their own goat's milk. They grow their own vegetables, and their sandwiches and soups are just phenomenal. And they have paintings on the wall that are incredible. One of them in the back left upper part of the wall, it says something about how a dove could carry a piece of sand one at a time from the ocean, or from the oceans to the universe or to outer space, and it immense to how much love God has for you, or something really special like that. And they're good food, but everywhere else it's depressing. Like, god awful. No, I don't do McDonald's. I haven't ever done McDonald's. I've done a very good job at keeping my children away from that until they became teenagers and started driving on their own. And then they came home one day with some McDonald's, and they're like, "Mom, I don't know what you've been tripping about all this time. This stuff's good." And I'm like, "Get out, get out! Don't eat that in here." No, I'm kidding. It wasn't, but still, like no matter how hard you try and teach your children things, sometimes they can end up looking at you like you're kind of a crazy person, because society's done so good at labeling us that even your own children will look at you like you're crazy. And that's been one of the hardest things to keep me staying me. But I keep hearing in my head that God says, I gave you these children to push you and show you your strength. If your closest persons are going to be pushing you and being like, "Oh, you're crazy," but you're still staying true to your core, I am growing you. And sometimes it hurts to grow. I'm sure even some plants, sometimes it hurts to grow. Like, I mean, if they're going through a rock or something and they're just searching for the light, just like we are searching for the light. And then they get stepped on or something, and then they have to remend themselves and still figure out how to grow. We are, even nature starting to show up, guys. Like, nature starting. I saw a video yesterday of a moose. Like, we all know how angry moose are said to be. We are said to stay away from moose. This moose was playing soccer with these two teenager boys. Yeah, it was so cute. And it's happening though. Like, nature's starting to show us the way. Just like in the Avatar where they commune and are one with nature. And Fern Gully, they were doing it too. Like, she had her hand on the tree and she was like, "Can't you feel its pain?" And she was showing the logger guy. Fern Gully was one of my favorite movies when I was a little girl. But those kind of things are starting to show up in our life. Like, we're starting to be able to touch a tree and feel its pain. We're acquiescing to yes. Yes. And we just need to keep being our weird conspiracy theory selves, because eventually they're going to see that it's not a theory anymore, and it's not a conspiracy anymore. Guillaume!
Hello.
Yay! Guillaume came on. But he was all we could see you, but then now you're the
I turn it off on purpose because I'm still riding the bike. I just put you on headphones.
You're still riding the bike. Yeah, no, Guillaume is straight from nature here.
Yeah, sorry I'm late.
It's okay, it's all good. It's
It's
all divine
wonderful you're
timing.
here.
Yes.
Sorry,
yeah.
it is what?
Wonderful that you're here.
Oh, thank you, thank you. It's always good to join you guys. So what's the topic today?
What we're gonna create in the future, and we were talking already how like our food will be different, our health care will be different, our like we'll have communities, like and we were talking about that, what we will be creating.
We're dreaming. Daydreaming.
Yeah, what in the future. So
nice.
there will be free energy. There will be free energy. We don't have to pay for all sorts of things that the earth provides. We'll be finding out that there's an abundance of everything. Like they lied about us, about the oil and the water, and there's enough of everything. It's just because some people are hoarding all of it.
There's enough. There's just too much greedy people.
Yeah, that's fine. Yes. And that's coming out as well, like and it will all change. We have like our food will be totally changed, will be more natural, all doesn't have all the poisons in anymore. We will just be have like growing our own food. We'll have all sorts of things. We can just travel wherever we want to travel. Money will be no. We can just like, we always have unlimited amount of supply, and we just can create whatever we want to create in the future.
Okay. I have a crazy thought about that.
Tell.
Well, I was listening, I think a few weeks ago, and I'm not particularly a fan of the guy, but this Bashar guy.
Oh yeah.
And he was talking about his, well, I will just call it his imaginary life. And he's saying, I'm walking here, and on a planet where there are no cities, just nature. That is something that I would like to see in future. No more cities.
Me too.
And just us living in harmony with the nature, like all the indigenous people used to do. So no need for money, no need for healthcare, because we're already eating healthy. What nature is giving us. I think all these problems will solve themselves.
Why not if, like, since, like, going along with exactly what you're saying with the indigenous people, I'm sure all of us in our countries have people that are still living indigenous. Why couldn't we, as a collective holding hands, go up to them and say, hey, we're sorry. We would like to extend our hand. We're not saying we want to come in and live with you guys, but can you show us your way? We, the city people, are done with the city life, and we want to come back home.
The stupid little brother who doesn't know any better.
Yeah, we want to come back home. We want to learn the indigenous way. Will you teach us? And could you imagine the heart energy that would come from that?
Well, I'm pretty sure after watching documentaries like Down to Earth that these indigenous people would probably do it too, because they actually still look towards the Westerners. Well, let's call it the so-called civilized world, which was never civilized to begin with, but they still look at it as with a point from compassion. like they're looking at some human that doesn't know any better, lost their way, their connection with nature. So I think they would love to teach us the old ways.
That would be so beautiful.
The biggest question is, are we open for it? Do we want to give up our convenience? Because our world is basically just built around convenience. It's convenient to get my potatoes from the grocery store, so I don't need to put in all the work to get it.
No,
For instance, we don't need to hunt. None of these things. It's all convenient.
Yeah.
So we need to give that up and start living, for our own livelihoods, basically, and do it together. So there is some spare time to make music and have some fun. That would be life. That would be life.
And I did that already, so I know how great it is just to live in nature and to eat the fruits from your own trees. I just know
exactly.
Yes, that you grew yourself.
Then you have a life that you don't need to take a vacation from, no?
Yeah.
Yes,
It would be constant, that feeling. Every day.
I still have that. And I had that in the past, but I still have that. Like I feel like I have constant. I have that freedom to do whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
And that is so beautiful, and it's so beautiful. But I still know, like, hey, this is not where I want to be. I want to be back in nature again. And what is also beautiful, I don't know if you know the books of Anastasia, the Ringing Cedars of Russia.
I've heard of it. That's the woman who writes about putting a seed in your mouth so it can feel what nutrients you need later on.
Yeah. So
that's a part that I remember.
Yeah. There's like beautiful books about like growing your own food, and if you put the seed in your mouth before you put it in the ground, it takes your own DNA, so it gives you exactly what you need.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah, basically also going back to seeking the harmony, harmony with nature, which we basically are.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, and the more love you put in there in the food, the more love comes out. Like they talk about like how there's like one tree that has like just one cherry, but that cherry is exactly the energy that you need.
Yeah.
And how much it gives you. Yeah, it's really beautiful. If you read that, you just want to live on your own place.
Yeah, but imagine a life where you're not constantly being distracted by all these material things, and where you can focus solely on the now with your family and your loved ones all the time. On your food, on your caring, on your nurturing. Your attention is constantly there with all the love that you want to give each other.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
We already see what is the effect of projecting love onto a plant when it's growing, or on water even, on the crystallization of it. So if you would have no distractions, which our civilized society basically puts on us constantly, I think there would be a lot of energy left over to actually live the life that we're supposed to be. Not even, I'm purposely not using the word want to be. No, we're supposed to live like that. The one thing is just the construct of the mind. That's our handicap that's been created for us. It keeps us locked in this state. Living the life of convenience, repeating what is known.
The lack of living what the life we're supposed to live is part and parcel of the exact reason why we're all depressed. We're not being true to self, and our soul is suffering.
Yeah. Please elaborate on that, because that I feel strongly too. That is a deep feeling inside that knows that we're not supposed to live this way.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's why you have that longing to do things differently, and you have that longing to what your heart wants.
Yes.
That's what a lot of people talk about. This in childhood already, feeling deeply inside that something is wrong here. Something is off. Let's not use the word wrong, but something is off.
Yep.
We're walking not in the right direction.
Yeah. But on the other side, it's really interesting to see, like, this is a lot of things are wrong, but it's on the other side, It's like everything is supposed to be like
It's
it
all
is
right.
supposed to be.
Yeah, it's all right. So, but when we're looking at our utopian future, I would say, no, then I would like to see a lot more awareness.
Yeah, but you can focus. You can choose where you want to focus on, and you can create that. And then I see more and more people walking away from society, living like this, and more and
Yeah.
more. And we
But
just create our own.
we will have to find it out, because if we keep doing it from our mind, we will just keep copying the old shit. And if you want to do something new, we need to do it without thinking. We need to go deep, dive deep, and use our intelligence to find the solution instead of old knowledge. I feel very strongly about that. Else, if we're going to build the same society that we're breaking free from. You see it happening in all these societies, even with that group that you were living with. That it started out with good intentions, but they were not aware of their own conditioning, and they actually started to build something that was very resembling the thing that they were actually trying to shy away from.
Yeah, that is also, you have to be aware of that.
Yes. Right.
But it's also like I needed to have that experience to know what I want even better. Just with relationships, sometimes you need to know like more what you do want. Because I really feel like the more you are in tune with what you want, the universe understands it. Oh, you want it like this? Now we're gonna bring it to you.
Yeah. And more or less in the way that we spoke about it earlier, I think. Not wanting it, but already being there in the now. Like it's already there. I think the only mistake that we sometimes make is wanting it, and it turns into material stuff. No, what we actually want, between these quotation marks, is doing. Just doing, and use our intelligence, flow state, as they usually call it these days. But that's all of the time, and then you create your own world constantly.
Yeah, and
there is no worrying. Sorry, yeah, you continue, please.
Also, wherever I am, I'm creating that already. Like I am here, I get to know more of my neighbors, and like this neighbor gives me this, and this brings me like sour sap fruits and leaves, and
exactly.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Like the more you know each other, the more you like share with each other. Like people are here also like really caring and giving and nice. So you you already feel you have a sort of community around you.
So what I try to say is it's a movement, constant movement, instead of a worrying. The moment I start worrying, I'm not moving anymore. I'm starting to look around me. Why are you not moving towards me? But if we keep moving in whatever way, building our house, doing our vegetables, building our connections with our neighbors, then it's always happening. It's just then you also see the threads of opportunities coming towards you. But if you keep waiting for them to come to your house, they will never come. You need to pick them up yourself. That's what I mean with movement. If you start to live your life starts to live you. You don't need to think about it. You feed your chicken, you water your plants, you grow your family, and there is no maybe a little bit planning, but I don't need to think about it. This life starts moving by itself, and opportunity instead of problems. That's the way we used to think now. It's just opportunities presenting themselves, no? And what we would think of as problems would be an opportunity to learn something that I didn't know before.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah,
I love that idea. That speak. That the words you just spoke. I love that idealism of it not being a problem, it being an opportunity to learn something new. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's why I asked. We're dreaming, right? Now I can go full out.
Yeah.
But I have like I want to learn from love that we listen already to the small whispers instead of the pain. Because if you don't listen to it, like your life gives you like a wake-up call, and then you need to do it. Like I want to like that we are like so connected with our hearts and our intuition that we know what we want to learn from love.
So,
and
of course. But isn't it just love? And don't you come by love by removing all these other things that are not love?
Yeah.
I mean, pain is not love. Pain is loss. And what is loss? Loss is not agreeing with what is happening anyway. Yeah, the loss of a loved one or the loss of you name it. But it's happening
that is
anyway.
also how
So
we
I need to
label
accept.
it.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's a
it's also
negative
how we
thing.
label it. If we
It's
change
not.
our perspective, then
Mhm.
everything is love.
No.
Yes, it's unconditional. So everything that has a condition is by definition not love. And people will say, oh, that's very philosophical. Yeah, but it's also truth. It's just that we don't want to see it. I love you, but you first have to love me. No, that's not love. Love is unconditional.
Mm.
And that's why it needs to start. I started to see that a few years ago. It needs to start with self-love. Because if I love myself, I stop looking for recognition outside of myself. I don't need you to love me. I will still love you, needless if you acknowledge me or recognize me. That's the real love. And it's not like I love you until you do something that I don't like. Then I stop loving you. So that was never love to begin with. I love the image. Then I love the image of you. So love is always that teacher, but we're so stuck in our heads, which creates all this fear and everything that is not love, like jealousy and possession and all these things, sexuality. That's all these things are not love. Possession. Love is boundless. So if I love myself, I recognize that in you. So then I love the whole of humanity because we are humanity. There is no border between me and the rest of humanity. I am the rest of humanity. And that used to be some weird phrase that somebody told me, but the moment I saw it, like, whoa, that makes me responsible for everybody. And how do I do that? By making sure that I'm pure as I can be, keep polishing myself, then I'm taking care of humanity. I take my responsibility right there. And that's the love. I love myself and I extend that love to everybody else. Whoa, where is that coming from?
He's got both of us smiling so big.
I need one of you to interrupt me because I think I'm going.
Yeah, but that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna be more love, and then sharing that, and love and kindness, and it's also this reality glorifies fakeness and arrogance and people knowing everything. No, we need to like just be ourselves and share that love that you are, and be that love.
It also means your dark side, you know. What you said triggered the thought that you said about society. We live in a society that only wants to show their polished side. Look at me. I'm having a good time, always. Fake book.
Yeah, fake book.
I also have my dark sides when things don't go the way. And I need to accept these too, because if I don't, I cannot love myself. I need to accept myself as I am with all these dark things, and especially with the things that I don't want to look at. And that's where the real love starts. But we all have the tendency to skip these parts because, yeah, I don't like and it's hard and I want to have light all day and love every day. Yeah. But you need to start from the truth, which is that you're basically start from human being that's finding out who he is or she is. With all
and then moments that you are happy and moments that you are sad or moments that you are like feeling this or feeling that, like not have. I feel more like not having any expectations of reality or something.
Exactly.
And it's mostly our own expectations.
And don't be ashamed of who you are or what you feel. Or if I feel sad, I feel sad. If I feel angry, there's also a place for anger. Somebody crosses my boundaries, I have a good reason to be angry. I don't need to push it away. Every time I push my feelings away, I push myself a little bit further away from my authentic true self. You know, it doesn't mean that I need to wallow in these emotions. It's also a mature thing to rein it in a little bit and use also some common sense. But I don't need to suppress them. Then it will be festering in the subconsciousness and pop out the moment you least expect it and do a lot of damage. That's what we see all around us. So that's what I meant with true love, is also accepting these parts and also being mature enough and stable enough, I guess, to also show you my sadness or my defects or my, especially to my friends, being vulnerable. That's actually what I'm trying to say. And not only show my strengths. That's not hard. That's easy. But it's really hard to show you my vulnerability, my weak sides. And also not be afraid of that. Because that's also me. And if I try to hide it, I'm trying to hide a part of myself. I'm denying myself, and I'm asking you to see me, but I don't even want to look at myself in the whole way that I am. That is so profound to me. The moment I saw that, like, hey, I seek recognition outside myself, but I don't look at the whole of me. So I first needed to do that before I can even begin to show myself to the outside world. And this recognition you don't even need anymore the moment you accept yourself, I think. Then it becomes fun, because then I'm starting to be interested in you. Do you also see yourself as a whole? And can we share this together? Oh shit, we're the same. Your emotions are my emotions. I see myself in you. Then it starts to even become even more fun. So, oh shit, this we are the whole of humanity in ourselves. Yes. So I don't need to hate somebody. No, I hate myself if I do so. I see something in somebody else that I recognize because it's a part of me. Else I cannot even recognize it. And yeah, then a circle is round, as we say in Dutch, you know. And then it's like, whoa, it's a profound thing. The moment you see it, there is a lot of freedom in there, because you don't need to worry about yourself. I know my intentions. I know I mean well. I know I worked hard to find myself. I make mistakes, and I take responsibility for that. But I know that for sure, because that's the only thing in life that I know for sure. My own inner feelings and motivations and thoughts. And that becomes my base. So your thoughts about me, I can be curious why you think so, but it will not faze me anymore, because I love this part of me. And it's my truth. I know my intention. I know I didn't mean to hurt anybody. If I do so unintentionally, I will take my responsibility. We can talk about it. But I don't feel bad about myself. And I mean, well, I'm loving myself and I love you. I think that's so simple. And the crazy thing is, the more I hear myself talk like this, I need to watch this again, because sometimes there coming things out of my mouth that I don't even know where it's coming from. I didn't think this up. This is, I think, the result of starting to live instead of keep reading books and watching podcasts and you know what not, accumulating knowledge. Yeah, you don't have knowledge if you don't start to use it and start moving. You need to start living. We already know how to live. You just start to need doing it. You just need to start doing it instead of fearing that we're doing something wrong or gonna fail. There is no fail. We're alive. We're breathing. Every day that I wake up, it's another day to try something new. What society tries to put on us, no, you need to do the same thing, because there is some weird sense of safety in there. It's not safe at all. It's destroying the world. It's a false sense of security there. Life is found in the adventure, in the not knowing. I think so. I need to quit. I'm home. I will settle down a little bit, let you guys talk, and maybe put on some picture. If I can find my lipstick, I think.
Yeah, right. But it's interesting, like what you said, like the more you're like what you're sharing, it comes from a different place. Like it's almost like you need that remembrance yourself, look at yourself back. Or I have that too when I'm writing things. And when I'm writing and I look back at it and it's like, oh, did I write that? Because you're almost like you're almost like channeling, because you're in that connection. You have that connection from love and from source, from your intuition. And then a lot of times more profound things come out there than you think you're like that you could think of yourself. And that's having that connection, having that tapped on.
Yep.
True.
But a lot of times people think it's more profound when you say it comes from this alien, or this it comes from Jesus or Mary Magdalene or something. It's like we need people to put more on there. Like, oh, you don't even like if Jesus of Mary Magdalene would sitting next to you and say it, then you wouldn't even recognize it.
Probably. I think that's mind mingling, trying to find explanation for what our forefathers would say, spirits of the ancestor. I think we're really pulling from a pool of all the knowledge, all the experience of everyone that came before us. It's just that our mind tries to make an abstraction of what it is. And for some people, is it a former life? And for other people, it's some alien channeling or a demon telling you stuff or an angel. What's the difference there even? But I think it's just the common consciousness of mankind that we're pulling from. It would also explain that we have like several hundred of Cleopatras. They all think they've been Cleopatra. I think it's more thinkable that they're pulling from the same library, so to speak.
Yeah, you're part of everything.
The library you're talking about and the common consciousness that you're talking about, it's called the Akashic Records, is the thinking space, thought, everything from beginning to end is all up there. And tapping into that is what you're exactly right. Because I am one of those females that I was like, I was either Cleopatra or her maidservant because I know things about Cleopatra that nobody else does. And then I started to really look at the subject and I'm like, a lot of people say this. So, but then also like how an idea or a new product will float around and drop into a whole bunch of people's heads until it drops into the head, actually puts foot to forward. It's the same thing. That's what I'm looking.
Oh, you're like frozen. You fall away, Keara. Your audio is not good. You're frozen now.
Even I don't know why.
But it's the same as with the Akashic Records, like people having different the same inventions in different places in the world because they manifest it. They get the information. Oh, no, you're back. They get the information, like you said, products and inventions on different parts of the world, and they get the same idea or invention in different parts because they download that from the like Akashic Records.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we will have more and more people tapped into that. It tapped into that source of love and creativity and like more and more.
My son's just got home. Hi, babies. I'm on my live though, just so you're aware. Well, since my son just got home, I want to actually read a poem that I wrote. In the beginning, you were talking about the Golden Age. I want to read that, then I'll probably go ahead and get off because my oldest son, who I don't really see that often, is here. And I love him, so I want to spend time with him. But I want to read this poem first.
That's good.
Ow! I just hit my elbow. I want to show you it first. Let's see. There we go. Flip the camera. The way I write is very different. For instance, the word blinded is written in Braille. Well, it's not proper Braille, but you guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay. But it's just a different way of writing that I do. I turn the words into the word that it is. But I want to read this real quick. Let me turn it away. All right. We all struggle with feelings of discontent. We believe it is because of selfishly and our thoughts to larger scale.
You're breaking up.
Your audio is not good.
See, so frustrating. I don't know why my audio does that.
In the beginning, it was good.
Yeah.
Let's see. We are widely disconnected from the spiritual energy that has been universally given, and in turn, not on the energetic vibration is crucial for expansion.
No, your audio breaks up. So
Yeah,
maybe
it's
you
really.
put your
It's
video off, and then maybe we can hear your audio. If you put your video off, only audio.
It's really bad.
Forget.
Or maybe reconnect.
No, she wanted to be with her son. So
Trying to figure out how to. I don't know. Really. It's frustrating. How did you turn your camera on? I want to turn it off.
At one point in the future, we will all have Starlink, so we will have good internet wherever we are. In the future, we also have Starlink, that we have good internet wherever we are.
Yeah, he likes to go over there.
I like that meme. That meme that says like your pineal gland is like a modem, picks up information from the ether. That's the original Ethernet.
Yeah. I am having the darndest time trying to stop video. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see if this works.
It goes better now.
All right. I'll just start over. We all struggle with feelings of discontent. Because of our life path and who have near us. Try to think less selfishly and expand our thought on a large scale. We are widely disconnected from the spiritual energy that is universally given, and in turn, not on the energy that for human expansion. If we would become interstellar and find more answers light years away, right inside the power of our own minds, there is a connected consciousness that we were born with, and through our youth pushed deeper into the veil has consumed us. Out of the dark veiled sight into love's healing light. Walk into the future out of with newfound sight, where sacred masculine are reunified, and we reconnect with what society has unplugged us from. First self, more importantly, the God self within. Given in his image a life to live, learn, and love.
We couldn't hear it fully, but what we could hear was beautiful.
Maybe you can post the contents later on so that we can read it. I think she dropped now totally.
Yeah. We couldn't hear it fully very well, but it was still beautiful. So, but you can maybe you can make a picture of it and maybe send it to us. Then we.
It's so weird that always when she's starting to speak her truth, that it always starts to disconnect. There's some weird coincidence.
Every time it's different. But she wants to go anyway to her son, so that's good. That's good. So she's there. But it's also like it's also that thing like with being like online, but also being like offline in your like your reality. Like so that's interesting because you, like you said, like you want to be with the people in real life also.
Yeah.
So but it's also seeing through the distractions, all the distractions that are there, and having more focus on where you want to put your energy in and what kind of things you want to create in the future, because you are the one responsible for it. You can change things, you can change your focus, you can change your attention, you can change like I'm like, oh, I want to be less into certain things that take away my energy or my time, and I'm like, oh, I take away some groups, or like you want less and less distractions at one point. And at one point I just want to be in my garden doing my thing with the people around me, more and more.
Yeah, I think
So,
that's also the way that we're supposed to live, right?
yeah,
With your environment and the people close to you.
yeah,
We're not supposed to be connected to 20,000 people at the same time.
yeah.
No.
And that's also what I'm gonna feel also, that like instead of like what I do, like sending it out to everybody, I feel like I want to go more deeper with certain people instead of like
not spread yourself too thin.
Yeah, I have that at this moment. I'm in a big transition to making certain choices. But I think we're going to be more and more conscious of all of our choices in the future, like all of our choices. Like, is it from love? Is it from fear? What's helping me? What's helping the collective? What's being more real, being more you, being more in the moment, and you always like more connected, more with yourself, and more like from that sort, from that point on, you make different choices again. You're a different person, like, and we always keep evolving and keep growing and becoming like closer and closer to ourselves, to our original nature, and that is happening. And then you also want to you want to only eat food that comes from nature, that is like organic. You want to connect with other people that are also closer to nature. You want to, your products are more from nature on what you're doing.
And are
like
authentic.
It's all back to it.
Nothing to
closer
add.
to ourselves.
Yeah.
That's going to be happening. That's what, and then the sky's the limit, what we can create.
It's already happening.
Yeah. And also the trust in that. That is also really good to just to know that and to trust that. And I feel like, oh, I have to do this and this and this. And like, no, it's like, just do whatever you need to do in any moment. Like, it's not.
You can only do your part.
Yeah.
And it's not like we're going to see the end of the movie anyway, no?
Yeah, who knows?
There's gonna be a place where we're gonna have to drop off and
yeah, but you know, yeah, and then it's also the question, where were you then and how? But there was some people saying like, we're gonna have mad beds and then we're gonna live forever with the technology that's coming out. People saying like, you're gonna be 30 years, you can choose what age you want to be, 30 years old, like 30 years younger than you are now, and we're gonna live unlimited lives and forever, and who knows like what we're gonna be creating in the future.
It's already possible. We just don't have the mad bed. You need to put some effort in there. But the way I started living like a year ago with keto and non-processed food and eat a lot less, periodic fasting, I have the same energy when I was 25. But I was so used to feeling tired all the time and all this sugar addiction and so forth. So I don't need MadBed, but people want the magic stick, where they can feel like that without putting the effort in. We want the candy, but not the toothache.
But it's because it's not easy doing what we do, the detoxing and the healthy food.
Exactly, you've been through it too. You know it's not easy, but worth it in every possible way. So
you feel much better.
Less convenient, more responsibility, I would say. More awareness.
Yeah, but what is your priority? Like, my health is my biggest priority, and we started green juicing again last week, and we feel great.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's your awareness, I mean, I'm living now in the Netherlands, and everybody's walking around in orange T-shirts and thinking that soccer is everything that's going around, and they all want to drink beer and.
But if they knew that it was all like fake and rigged, the sports, if they would know like how much time and attention goes there, but it's the same as in Rome, like just give them place and food, bread and plates to see the gladiators. It's the same, like distraction, and they don't even know it's all rigged. They all have like play script already in before the season. That's why they make it like very like, oh, you think that team is gonna win, but then in the end, and with penalties, and then they have penalties in the quarterfinals and the finals. Like, Like,
I don't know
why?
what to think of it. It's getting more and more crazy here in Europe. And more people are saying like you need to get out of Europe as fast as possible.
Oh,
Looks
wow.
like they're steering towards another world war again. And yeah, it's going to be bad here. It's always Europe that takes the brunt of it.
Well, I think it's gonna, I don't know, it's gonna change at one point. People are waking up, but you don't know when
Oh
the
yeah,
tipping point is.
exactly. People are waking up, but
Yeah,
also
definitely.
the other side is also making hurry. So I think you need to take that into account too. And I rather want to be waking up on in South America than here in Europe, where they're going to be pushing some other shit for a while until they also wake up, of course.
Yeah, but yeah,
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
we'll see what the whole process is gonna be, but I'm quite sure it will all be
I think
really good at one
it's
point.
already happening, Janneke. It's
Yeah.
already happening. It's just that I'm also very aware that for me personally, this life could end like anyway, and any day. You know, it could end tonight. So I'm not going to see the end of it, and that's okay. It's already changing, and it's what you also said before. It's already good. It's already going well. Nothing is going wrong. But we have the tendency to seek refuge in these material securities. You know, it needs to be this, it needs to be that. No, it's already good. The world is changing. There are more and more people getting more aware about, despite all the conditioning, despite hundreds of years of God knows what. Look at you. You and me, we come from the best conditioned country in the world. And
It's really crazy. Like if you with
we broke
way
out
people,
of it.
The a lot of people say like Holland is like the belly of the beast.
Yeah.
And then the rules, the amount of rules that we have, and how much how we live, and how conditioned we are, and how many taxes we pay, and like it's really crazy. Like if you have like there's a list how much taxes we have to pay in other countries that never heard of the half of it.
Yeah, everything,
It's
and
like
they've been
crazy.
conditioned to think it's normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the condition is the strongest here in Europe, and probably the strongest in the Netherlands, because it's so small. It's easy to regulate.
Yeah.
But what I try to emphasize is, despite all that, there are still people breaking free of that.
Yeah.
That makes it very special.
Yeah.
Because it's probably easier when you get born somewhere down in India, where you don't live in the city and get all these conditions about you. Closer to nature.
People
I'm just
living their
giving an example.
spirituality.
Yeah,
people are there. It's normal to
more
live their
spiritual.
spirituality. Yeah.
And here they just about killed anything that's spiritual. It's all being conceptualized. So I think that's the real miracle, that even here people like you and me are still able to become more aware and trying to strive for to be a better human, or to be the original human, even, because better implies that I need to go there somewhere better than me. No, I'm already there. We're all good. We just forgotten how to. And not even that has been taken away from us. What we are, how we're supposed to live. And we're still figuring out. That's amazing to be a part of that.
We're still figuring out what's the best way and how.
Yeah, and how amazing is it to you have different people in these podcasts, but I meet people from all over the world, and you're also all over the world. And you all meet people who are walking in the same direction, who see the same thing on the horizon where they want to go. That's crazy, because there is no book, there is no road sign saying you need to. It's actually going against the stream. It's going against the herd. That tells me that there is some truth to be found there.
Yeah, and I recently saw a video about people saying like, we are the people from the future. We are like how people going to be even more, and we're going to also keep evolving.
We're people of the now. We always live in the now. So all these things, future, past, this, that. No, we're here. It's okay here.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like us pioneers and way showers, like what works for us, and other people are also going to be like at one point like this on the same way.
But basically showing that you don't need a roadmap. Life is to be found in the adventure, in the not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah, and life is what is happening
all the time.
Yeah.
I don't need to tell you this.
No. But once you're like on this road, life shows you, and life keeps showing you. And I think the only thing that we like, what is like sometimes like makes it difficult for us is like the perceptions that we put on it, like the labels we put on it, on the expectations, or like this is like, oh, it's different than I thought, or like
it's our thought doing that to us. It's not us. We don't like to put labels.
Yeah.
There's no use for a label.
Yeah.
That's the mind that's being conditioned to do so.
Yeah, and we
so
keep
I don't
breaking
identify
free.
with it anymore.
Yeah, and we keep breaking free more and more.
Yeah, just
So
let it
that's
go.
good.
You don't need to push it away. Just let it go.
Mhm.
Don't identify with it anymore. It has its place. It needs to remember what's my name and where my house is at and how to cook. And, all the other stuff I can figure out myself.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and we'll see where it goes, but
Yes.
it will be very great. And whatever we're gonna create in this now moment,
Curious. Yeah, exciting times.
Yeah, I'm also very excited. And we'll see how it works. I have no, like, people saying like there's no timeline, all in divine time. Everything is happening already, all in divine time, and we will see it play out. And however it needs to play out.
We're already blessed that we're not asleep. We broke free.
Yeah.
That's already a blessing.
We have like a certain freedom in ourselves that no one can take that away from us. Never.
No,
It
we can only give it away. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it only grows. That freedom and that love that you feel, it only grows and grows. So I'm fortunate. Very fortunate to feel that I have this possibility. Let's see. So to see. Check if there were people maybe saying something under the chat. But I feel also again complete.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Keara fell away earlier, but I will put her links underneath this as well.
Yeah, it would be nice if she could put the poem into a digital form or something.
Yeah, we'll ask her. And because one time before she also shared a poem and it was really beautiful. So it's nice. Right. And so thank you, like also Keara, and thank you, Guillaume. And maybe you want to share, like, do the outro again.
I always keep it short. I'm just finding out. Yeah,
I'll put
you
your
can
links
find me on
also
Facebook. Put my name downstairs if you want to get in touch with me. It's always good.
Yeah. And I'm here. I'm Janneke Hellebrekers, call myself Miss Hellbreakers. My real surname. Here to help people break. I'm here to break free more and more, being more me and more real. And I help others to break free as well. Break free from hell / matrix, the system, whatever we perceive it. And the more we change, the more we perceive it as paradise or heaven, and we're bringing that in. I help with a lot of things, like whatever, like I can help, like do energy healings. I work with like people with energetically, emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, wherever like you need. I can work with you, and I'm always like evolving and have different ways. So especially what I'm doing now is like energy healings and energy healing courses where people can really learn also to give energy healing. So that is what I'm really also all about, and sharing seeds of consciousness everywhere. So thank you everybody for being here.
Yes.
And wishing you all the best for now and in the future. Bye-bye.